Did you know that a simple head pat could be making your dog uncomfortable? While we think it's a gesture of love, dogs often feel quite the opposite. Surprising, right? Don't worry, you're not alone in this common mistake, and today we're uncovering why it happens and how to fix it. In this video, you'll learn about petting mistakes that could unintentionally harm your bond with your furry friend, how to spot when your dog isn't enjoying it, and the exact spots where dogs actually love to be petted. Plus, we'll share tips on safely interacting with dogs you meet for the first time. So stick around, because by the end, you'll know how to pet dogs in a way that keeps them happy, healthy, and wagging their tails. Let's dive in. Why petting matters to dogs. For us humans, petting feels like a natural way to show love and build a connection. After all, physical touch is a universal language of affection in our world. Whether it's a hug, a pat on the back, or a gentle head rub, these gestures often mean, "I care about you." But for dogs, the same actions don't always translate the way we think they do. Dogs process touch differently because of their instincts and physical size. Unlike humans, they rely heavily on body language and smell to interpret the world around them. A gesture that feels nurturing to us, like patting their head, can come off as intimidating, especially since we're towering over them. For smaller dogs, it might even feel like a threat. Understanding this difference is key. When we approach petting with our own assumptions, we risk creating stress for our dogs rather than strengthening our bond. Learning what feels comfortable and natural for them is the first step to making your affection truly meaningful. Common mistakes when petting dogs. It's easy to make mistakes when petting dogs because we often assume they enjoy touch the same way we do. Unfortunately, some common habits can make dogs uncomfortable, or worse, stress them out. Petting the head. While it might seem like the obvious place to reach, patting or touching a dog's head can feel intrusive. Dogs often perceive this as a dominating gesture, especially if you're leaning over them to do it. It can trigger discomfort or even anxiety. Hugging or restricting. Movement. Hugs are a human way of expressing love, but to most dogs, it feels like being restrained. Even if they stay still, it's often because they're tolerating it, not enjoying it. Dogs naturally prefer to feel like they have the freedom to move away if needed. Overdoing. Petting non-stop might seem like a great idea, but it can overwhelm your dog. Dogs prefer short bursts of affection with breaks in between to process the interaction. Continuous petting doesn't give them the option to say enough. By recognizing and avoiding these common mistakes, you're already on your way to creating a more positive and stress-free experience for your dog. It's not just about what feels good for you, it's about what makes them feel truly loved. How to tell if your dog is unhappy. While being petted, dogs have subtle ways of communicating when they're not enjoying something, and petting is no exception. It's not always obvious, like a growl or bark. Often, dogs use body language to express discomfort, and learning to read these signals can make all the difference. Pulling away or ducking. If your dog moves their head back or shifts away when you reach out, it's a clear sign they're uncomfortable. Respect their boundaries. They're letting you know they'd rather not be touched in that moment. Pinned back ears are a great indicator of a dog's mood. If their ears are pulled back tightly, it usually means they're stressed or uneasy with the interaction. Displacement behaviors. Dogs often redirect their stress into small, repetitive actions, like licking their lips or yawning. These aren't random. They're a way for your dog to cope with a situation they don't like. Whale eye. That moment when you see the whites of your dog's eyes as they look to the side. It's called whale eye, and it's a strong signal of stress or discomfort. Pay attention when you see it, as it's your dog's way of saying, "This isn't fun for me." Being aware of these cues helps you adjust your approach and respect your dog's comfort level. They may not use words, but their body language speaks volumes if you're watching closely. The right way to pet your dog. Petting your dog the right way can strengthen your bond and make the experience enjoyable for both of you. It's all about understanding what feels natural and comfortable for them. Approach from the side. Instead of reaching for your dog's head from the front, approach from the side. This is less intimidating and gives them a chance to see and sniff you first, which helps them feel more at ease. Start with neutral zones. Begin by petting their shoulders or along their sides. These areas are generally safe and well received by most dogs. Avoid going straight for the head unless you're sure they're comfortable with it. Watch their body language. Pay close attention to how your dog reacts. If they lean into your hand or relax their posture, you're on the right track. But if they stiffen or pull away, it's time to stop or try a different approach. The sweet spot. Base of the tail. Many dogs love being petted at the base of their tail. This area has fewer sensitive nerve endings compared to their head or paws, making it a great place to scratch gently. Behind the ears for bonded dogs. For dogs you're familiar with, gently scratching behind their ears can be incredibly soothing. This area is hard for them to reach themselves and often feels good due to the concentration of nerve endings. By tailoring your petting style to what your dog enjoys, you're not just showing affection, you're communicating in a way that your dog truly understands and appreciates. It's a small change with a big impact. How to safely pet a stranger's dog. Meeting a new dog can be exciting, but it's important to approach the interaction with care. Dogs have different personalities, and not all are comfortable with being touched by strangers. Always ask permission. Before reaching out, check with the owner. They know their dog's temperament best and can guide you on whether it's safe to pet them. Let the dog make the first move. Extend your hand, palm down, toward the dog's nose, but stop short of touching them. Give the dog the chance to sniff you and decide if they're comfortable. If they lean in or wag their tail, it's usually a green light. If they pull away, respect their space. Stick to neutral zones. Focus on petting the dog's shoulders or sides. Avoid the head, tail, or paws, as these areas are often more sensitive. Keep the interaction brief and gentle to avoid overwhelming them. By respecting these steps, you not only ensure the dog feels safe, but you also make the interaction more enjoyable for everyone involved. Tips to prevent inappropriate petting by others. Sometimes strangers may not know the right way to interact with your dog, and it's your job to advocate for their comfort. Be clear and polite. When someone approaches your dog, let them know up front how your dog prefers to be petted. For example, she loves a scratch on her shoulders but doesn't like her head touched. Most people will happily follow your guidance. Don't hesitate to say no. If you're unsure about the stranger's approach, or if your dog seems uncomfortable, it's okay to decline. You can simply say, "She's a bit shy, so we're not letting her meet new people right now." Lead by example. Demonstrate how to pet your dog properly if needed. This helps educate others while ensuring your pup is at ease. An example would be to reach your hand out, palm down so they can smell you first. This shows the dog you aren't a threat. By setting these boundaries, you're not just protecting your dog, you're also teaching others how to interact with dogs respectfully. A little guidance goes a long way. Now you know how to pet your dog in a way that strengthens your bond and makes them feel truly loved and comfortable. By understanding their unique needs and body language, you're creating a happier and stress-free experience for both of you. Have any favorite petting spots your dog loves, or tips you've discovered along the way? We'd love to read them in the comments below. Let's hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe for more expert advice on keeping your furry friend happy and healthy. Hit that like button and stick around for our next video, where we'll show you how to tell if your dog absolutely adores you. See you there.